Alright, good evening. My name is Parson. I'm here doing the first recording for my milestone 1 in the character modeling discipline. I took and got started on my character this week. I wanted to do a mix of a Star Wars character using the likeness of a real life person that actually happens to play in Star Wars, which is Daisy Ridley. My goal for this character is to get a not hyper realistic, but a stylized realistic design of a Twi'lek from the Star Wars universe, which I have down here. And as you can see, it'll end up being something like this with a different outfit, where I'll have the tendrils coming off the back of her head that will drape down and be able to move and curve. I can make them longer, shorter. I can give them a different shape. I might have them wrap around, having been if they are a little bit longer than normal. But my goal is to have a custom Twi'lek. I've looked at a bunch of different references for Daisy Ridley and her facial structure and her height, her build. I've also looked at some different versions of Twi'leks used in the Star Wars series. There's some like Aayla Secura used in Clone Wars in Episode 3. I looked at some from Darth Talon, which is mostly mentioned in the comic series, so most of those are drawings and other things. There was a sculpture done by Sideshow Collectibles of Darth Talon that I've kind of looked at as well. So I've looked at all those to kind of get the base proportions for my female character's body, which I got started on this week. It took me a little bit to get to where I'm at. It's been a couple months since I've dove into ZBrush. I've been doing a lot of the editing lately with video and special effects. But as I started, I kind of just used Z-spheres as a base to get them blocked out. So after I did, I just started going through and defining out the major muscle groups. I know that with my character and with the model I'm using for the facial features and everything, she doesn't have a lot of muscle definition, but I made sure to slightly try and pull out some of those primary forms before I move into the secondary ones. So I kind of went through and made sure to at least get most of the proportions right. I'm still working a lot on the hands and feet, just getting the basic shape of those in. They've always kind of been a challenge to me so far. Her hands are definitely nowhere near ready. I just wanted to get them blocked in this week so I could start working on refining those. In her torso, I was able to kind of get that close to what it should be. I still need to do some work on the upper arm structure. Moving into the hands as well on the wrist area, and the neck and chest area up here. I've still got some refining to do. And then I've been having some issues this weekend. I started modeling the head on a separate file, so I imported it to this project, lined it up, and got it scaled right. But I'm having some trouble since I didn't use Dynamesh. I was using just the polymesh sphere, or the Z spheres, and then turned it into a polymesh sphere and did that. But whenever I merge the two objects, I get a seam. So I've been trying to troubleshoot and find some help on getting that taken care of so that I can get rid of that seam so that they'll go together flawlessly, so I can start using that. This is a big reference that I've been using for Daisy Ridley's head, because it really helps me to define that jawline. And then I've been referencing the side view down here to kind of get how the proportions need to be when they're being set back, so that I can go and take a look at how wide it needs to be out back here and how I can taper that in more easily on the sides. I feel like I've kind of gotten her jawline pretty close. I probably need to raise it up just a little bit. The next thing I'm going to work on is refining the mouth, the nose a little bit, and then really the eyes. I really need to get some detail on just the facial structure around the eyes, and working on that. And then eventually I'll try and get some more, put the eyeballs in and get that in there. My next big step after I get the proportions done is I was going to go ahead and put the tendrils in. I was probably going to start with them about right there, and then use the probably the curved tubes tool, or one of the like the snake hold move tool, and just start extracting those and bringing them down to the back. So kind of just going up and coming back down. I know with the curved tubes tool, I'd use that tool back in production modeling for the Viking helmet. So we took and used the curved tubes, drug out the horns, and then we were using some of the tools on the side here to taper those, to taper them and kind of give them a point on one end and make them smooth on the other. And then that really worked well for mixing that into our geometry. I think the biggest struggle with those at first is going to be getting them to look like they continuously flow out of the head, and it's not like they're a separate attachment. So I'm going to have to blend from the front to the back on those. I'm still thinking in terms of the style of what I want to accomplish in terms of outfit and setting, and how I want to pose the model. I do want to go for more of a Star Wars-esque type of outfit, not necessarily the flight jumpsuit like my style sheet example I found has, but something that kind of resembles maybe a Star Wars-esque dress or robe or something like that, that kind of shows more of the character. I'll also be working on modeling her weapon as well in the near future, which I have a reference of on my Pinterest board. But right now I'm kind of getting the feel for ZBrush again. I'm really trying to nail out these basic proportions, because it's been a little bit since I've modeled a complete, like a full human body. And this is the first one from complete scratch that I've done in a while too. But that's where I'm at. I'm really starting to try and get some of these. This week I'll definitely be getting a lot of those secondary and high detailed muscle groups and different anatomical details with the knees. I need to do some more work on the knees for adding in the muscle structure right there, some of the divot, like the dips and the dimples where the natural look comes in, and then especially right here, like with the calf muscles, that small dip that you have as it kind of curves in and out. And then of course I'll be tackling the detail on the fingers and the toes, and getting those really squared away. I know they look a little crazy right now, but I kind of just wanted to get them in there to start getting a feel for it and an idea. What I do plan on doing is taking, I'm going to get this printed out on a piece of paper, print out a couple copies of these, and then I'm going to go through with my reference and kind of just start sketching out how I want my final parts to look, and then sketching out areas like with the face, seeing if I can kind of start visualizing where I need those facial details to match hers, and then transferring that back into ZBrush. I feel like I'm off to a pretty good start. I'm looking forward to getting the feedback just to kind of see where I'm at, and I'm definitely excited to move on from here. But thank you, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.